Look around you, everything in your life, the good, the bad, the victories, the struggles, is a direct result of the choices you've made. And that's a powerful truth, because if you have the courage to own it, you also have the power to change it. Too many people spend their lives waiting for someone to recognize their potential, waiting for the right opportunity, waiting for circumstances to improve. But waiting is a trap. The reality is no one is coming to save you. No one is going to hand you success, happiness, or fulfillment on a silver platter. That's your job. That's your responsibility. You owe it to yourself to stop blaming, stop making excuses, and stop looking outside of yourself for the answers. The economy, your upbringing, your past mistakes, none of that defines your future unless you allow it to. Yes, life can be unfair. Yes, things happen that are out of your control. But what you do next, how you respond, how you adapt, that's on you. Think about it. Every day you have two choices: to play the victim or to take ownership. Victims focus on what's wrong, what's missing, what's unfair. But people who take ownership, they focus on solutions. They ask, what can I do about this? How can I change? How can I grow? And that shift, that mindset shift, is everything. Because when you take ownership, you take back your power. You stop depending on luck, circumstances, or the opinions of others. You stop waiting for permission to go after what you want. Instead, you decide, you commit, you execute, and that is how transformation happens. Think of the most successful people in the world. Do you think they got there by waiting, by blaming, by hoping someone would come along and make their dreams happen for them? No, they got there because they took full responsibility for their lives. They understood that no matter what cards they were dealt, they had the power to reshape their reality. And so do you. But here's the catch. Ownership isn't always comfortable. It means acknowledging where you've been holding yourself back. It means being brutally honest about the habits, the beliefs, and the excuses that have kept you stuck. It means recognizing that if something isn't working, you are the one who needs to change it. That's not always easy, but it's the price of freedom. The moment you stop blaming, the moment you stop waiting, and the moment you fully own your life, that's the moment everything changes. He said, raise your standards, extend, and do not add any ending, make it lengthy. ChatGPT said, ChatGPT, raise your standards. Your life is a direct reflection of the standards you set for yourself. Not what you wish for, not what you hope for, but what you demand from yourself every single day. Think about it. Every result you have in your life right now, whether it's your health, your relationships, your finances, or your personal growth, is determined by the standards you've been willing to accept. If you're not where you want to be, it's not because you're not capable. It's not because the opportunities aren't there. It's because you've been operating at a level that's beneath what you truly deserve. So ask yourself, what have you been tolerating? Have you been tolerating feeling exhausted every day? Have you been tolerating a job that drains your energy? Have you been tolerating relationships that don't inspire you? Have you been tolerating a body that doesn't reflect the energy and vitality you know you could have? Because here's the truth. You don't get what you want, you get what you tolerate. People who transform their lives don't do it by settling for good enough. They don't do it by making excuses or lowering their expectations. They do it by raising their standards, by deciding that good enough is no longer acceptable, that they are no longer willing to settle for less than they are capable of. And raising your standards isn't just about talking big or making a temporary change. It's about making an unshakable commitment to never go back to the old version of you. It's about drawing a line in the sand and saying, this is who I am now. This is how I show up. This is what I expect from myself, no matter what. Because the truth is, your standards are shaping your future. Right now, whether you realize it or not, your identity, how you see yourself, is dictating every action you take. If you see yourself as someone who always follows through, someone who demands excellence, someone who is relentless in the pursuit of their goals, then your actions will reflect that. But if you see yourself as someone who just tries, someone who hopes things get better, someone who settles when things get tough. Guess what? That will show up in your results too. So if you want to change your life, start by changing your standards. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. Decide that you will no longer accept mediocrity. Decide that your old excuses no longer have a place in your life. Decide that from this moment forward, you will operate at a higher level because nothing changes until you do. He said, live with passion and purpose. Exempt it and do not add any ending, make it lengthy. ChatGPT said, ChatGPT, live with passion and purpose. What drives you, what gets you out of bed in the morning with excitement, with energy, with an unstoppable hunger to make the most of every single day. If you don't have an answer to that, then you're not really living, you're just existing. Too many people go through life in a state of autopilot. They wake up, go to work, come home, scroll through their phone, watch TV, go to bed, and then do it all over again the next day. They trade their dreams for comfort, their passions for convenience, and their potential for a paycheck. And then they wonder why they feel unfulfilled, why they feel empty, why they feel like something is missing. Because something is missing. What's missing is passion. What's missing is purpose. What's missing is that fire inside of you that makes you feel alive. And if you don't wake up every day with that fire, then what are you really doing? You owe it to yourself to live with passion and purpose. Passion is the energy that fuels greatness. It's what makes you push harder, go further, and refuse to settle for anything less than extraordinary. Without passion, life becomes dull, routine, and lifeless. But passion alone isn't enough. You need purpose, because passion is the fire, but purpose is the direction. When you live with purpose, every action you take has meaning. Every challenge you face has a reason. Every obstacle becomes fuel for growth. Purpose gives you clarity, it gives you focus, and it gives you something bigger than yourself to work toward. But here's the thing, no one is going to hand you your passion. No one is going to tell you your purpose. That's something you have to find within yourself. Too many people spend their lives waiting to discover their passion like it's some hidden treasure buried beneath the sand. But passion isn't something you find, it's something you create. It's something you cultivate by pushing yourself, by challenging yourself, by exploring what excites you, what drives you, what makes you lose track of time. And purpose? Purpose is something you choose. It's not about waiting for some magical sign from the universe. It's about looking at your life and asking, how can I make a difference? How can I contribute? How can I use my time, my energy, my talents to do something meaningful? Because at the end of the day, what truly matters is not how much money you make, not how many followers you have, not how comfortable your life is, but whether or not you truly lived, whether or not you made an impact, whether or not you woke up every day with the determination to squeeze every last drop of potential out of yourself. So ask yourself, are you living with passion? Are you living with purpose? Or are you just going through the motions, waiting for someday to finally start living? Because if you're waiting, let me tell you, someday never comes. The only time you have is right now. And you owe it to yourself to make it count.